All right, we are live. Good evening, all, and this is Delvin, and today I have Ojas Bhai with me, and a warm welcome to everyone watching at MESC Red Devils NCR. Ojas Bhai, I hope you're doing well. I can see from your face that the nervous excitement is palpable, and rightly so. Big day for us. A momentous day actually. Our final for the first final since 2021. Our first Carabao Cup final since 2017, where the last time we did have enter the final, we ended up winning the final. But this time things are different. The first final of the Ten Hag era, the first signs of genuine recovery and a lot of positivity around the fact that maybe this at this point the good times are there to stay for a longer time than it normally is. Or just by entering into the final, what are your thoughts? What is going on in your head, and what are your aspirations? I mean, what do you make of Newcastle as opponents in the final?
Yeah, I think defensively they have been very good this season. I have to really applaud Newcastle of how they have defensively set it up themselves up. They have conceded, I think, least amount of goals in the league. Uh, Here and there, it can be the rankings. Overall, I have a very good feeling for this match. I think it will be a good contest, but on the bigger picture, United should win this comfortably. This is going to be the one of the seasons where Ten Hag is going to focus on Carabao Cup because he wants to end the trophy drought for me. From the seasons coming next, why this win is important is because from the upcoming seasons, the concentration will completely shift from these type of Carabao Cup to Champions League. So this is actually the right season, the right moment for Ten Hag to start the trophy collection as a Manchester United manager. And I am pretty confident. Yes, there is a nervous excitement, but in a larger picture, I am very confident that Ten Hag and Manchester United have the capability to win this one.
Both teams entering this final in rather contrasting fortunes. I mean, everyone over here knows that United have been on a very good run with just one loss in the last 20 games. Whereas Newcastle, after having that stunning start to the season up until the Christmas point, have tapered off a little bit. I'm not saying that they are not a threat by any stretch of the imagination. We all, like you said, we all know how watertight that Newcastle United defense is. Yes, they've lost Nick Pope, but they still have enough quality in their sides, to mount a serious challenge. And while they haven't been in the best of forms and currently find themselves outside the places of the top four where they were there for a majority of the season up until the last couple of weeks, they still remain a very dangerous opposition. And just like Ten Hag, even Eddie Howe has been doing a very great job of getting the maximum out of some of the players who a lot of their fans thought that would not cut it out in the Premier League. The biggest example being Almiron, who's recently signed a contract extension with them as well. So what are your thoughts on the work that Eddie Howe is doing with that side? I mean, surely no one expected a drastic change within the first season of Eddie Howe, as full season of Eddie Howe, even under new ownership, because Newcastle last season were an absolute shambles when Eddie Howe took over in the middle of the season. He steered them towards safety, and now it seems that a lot of good things are happening with Newcastle. Their fans are once again have got their voice back. They are fully behind the side, and it's just like us. There is harmony wherever you look. So, what are your thoughts on Newcastle and Eddie Howe in particular?
Yeah. Just like you, I couldn't believe that Eddie Howe is the first manager of the new era that the Newcastle ownership has transformed into. So, but truth be told, he has been fantastic. He has done fantastic work. Not only with Almiron, but a couple of players that I thought would never be good. One of them is Shkar, and he was very good this season. He has been very good this season. And one more thing that actually helped them is signing important players at the right time. Isaac was an overpriced buy, but it was a good buy. And one signing, that is the Bruno that they have. They signed Bruno at the right time to have the control in the midfield. Couple of good signings and support to the manager has really helped Newcastle to be where they are right now. although they have completely helped Spurs to enter into top four, Spurs surely have not deserved to be in the top four right now. The Newcastle United team has played really poor for the past couple of weeks so that the Spurs could enter into top four. Eventually, I think they will recover and finish above Spurs. Right now, I think we have caught them at the perfect time. They don't have Pope. They are short on form, and it is Wembley. It is the home of football at England. So it will be a very pressure oriented match for them also. There's so many expectations, so many people coming from the Newcastle only to watch them. We have just caught them at the right moment in the final. I think so. With whatever performances they have put this season, just the added pressure to play at Wembley in a cup final is going to take a toll on them sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, rightly said. Uh, Vishal Bhai, thank you so much for joining the stream. So Vishal Bhai puts in the note for all our viewers and subscribers who are watching this stream. Uh, Please do note that the match in India will be streamed on FanCode. Up until a couple of days ago, there was a genuine doubt that the final was supposed to be streamed or not.
Yes, and one more thing, Delvin, you will explain everything else. For Apple, whose 25 rupees match pass is not coming, you have to go to the fan code website to get subscribe that 25 rupees uh, pass for the fan code for Apple users specifically.
Thank you so much, Osis Bhai, for that. Anshuman Bhai, warm welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yes, like you said, just keep it simple, play your best football, and there is no doubt about the fact that we will end up winning our first trophy if we do the basics right. Uh, United Road, welcome to the stream. Newcastle fans getting cocky might come back to haunt them. Yes, I've actually seen a lot of Newcastle fans on the on Twitter live, on my Twitter live. While there are some who are cautiously optimistic, who do understand the gravity of the situation, the comparatively newer fans have been pretty brash and pretty aggressive about their chances of winning the finals. I don't blame them. So, Ojusva, let's talk about the competition in general. I mean, this is the fifth or sixth year that Carabao are the title sponsors of this trophy. In the 5 years that have preceded, Man City had won it four straight times before, and then last season you could see there was a little bit of competitiveness in the final, but the game was genuinely lacking in quality. For the first time in these 6 years, the Carabao Cup final genuinely seems like a final. You have two teams who are in different stages of their rebuild. Both are looking forward to have an upturn in their fortunes on the footballing side, whereas one has already found new ownership and are starting to reap the benefits of it. The other side are either on the verge or God knows what is happening on the ownership thing. But then that is a discussion that we will have for another day and age. But you can see that both these teams enter this final with a burning desire and a burning passion to finally win this trophy. They're treating the final like a final. You can see for Newcastle especially, this final holds much more significance than United if we take the broader picture. This is the
Yes.
first final that Newcastle will be playing since 1999. That is almost 2.5 decades away. A lot of these fans have not seen Newcastle compete for major honors since a very long time. Added significance for United also, the longest trophy drought for United in God knows how long. 5 years, 5.5 years and running. We've come close on multiple occasions, but somehow we've not been able to cut it. Do you think that the Man United versus Newcastle United final could finally bring the Carabao Cup back to the relevance that it used to have before, where it was not just an exercise for the bigger teams to field second or third sides, and each team used to enter this competition with their full strength sides and a genuine intent to actually end up winning it all?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, it is one of the oldest competition in the country. And see, the significance of a competition depends on the competitive nature of the overall competition. So if the competitiveness is taken out, you usually find it very one-sided, and the viewership falls. So the Carabao Cup is already on the on scrutiny, that the viewership is falling across the globe, not in England but across the globe. So there has to be a change. There has to be a change of mindset amongst the teams that it is a trophy to play for. For Manchester City, there I would disrespect them, but it was quite a one-sided competition always. As soon as the bigger teams used to leave, now we are seeing that even the lower teams can be a good competition from this year on. But when Manchester City won it through and through, it was the days where lower teams were absolutely nowhere in fighting spirit that they used to be. The best final that I have seen, and I think that this is the only Carabao Cup final, it was Manchester United versus Southampton. It was a very good game. It could have gone either way, but a very good game, and I'm expecting the same today also. So this game is really important for the competition, for the overall English football. It is a game of utmost importance because two big teams of this season, and in the perspective of the history of the game, history of the league, history of English football, these are the two big clubs facing at Wembley, where fans from both the clubs will be visiting in huge numbers, and you just can feel the vibe in the game itself that it is going to be like clash of very good clubs.
Yeah, I totally agree. Vishal Bhai has, beautifully summed up the current situation of both the teams. One has reached the finals after 24 years, and one is aiming to win a trophy after 6 years. So both the teams entering this have a lot at stake, and they would definitely want to put their best foot forward. Now, let's talk about the teams. Let's talk about the opponents first. Let's talk about Newcastle. Uh, while Newcastle's defensive stability is a thing that has been talked about for a lot of by a lot of people and a lot of other fans as well, the one thing which is found a common ground among all the big managers of the big clubs who face Newcastle is their ability to slow the game down. So, in the Premier League, Newcastle currently are second in terms of having the ball for the least amount of time.
Yes.
So, the average play time for Newcastle is somewhere around 51 minutes, which means that they are masters at slowing this game down. And the chief exponent of this has been their goalkeeper, that is Nick Pope. Nick
Yes.
Pope has already been booked thrice in the season for time wasting, and they all the rest of the players follow his examples. Now you can look at it from a good perspective as well as a bad perspective. But how does Nick Pope's absence hamper them to play force them to play quicker? Because it always starts from the goalkeeper. One thing is certain: time wasting or slowing the game down always and always starts from the goalkeeper. If your
Yes.
goalkeeper plays it quicker, the entire team has no other option but to play quicker, because then you know that the opponent will be on you in a flash if you play slowly, and then the best laid plans go to water. It's a matter of just one mistake. So, how important is Pope's absence, which will be a detriment to their like the ploy of slowing games down? And just elaborate a little bit about the time wasting, and how this could play into our hands, because they will not be able to waste that much time with Pope there now out of this game.
Yeah, yeah. With the time wasting thing that you have just mentioned, I remember one season of Jose Mourinho where Oscar nutmegged De Gea to win against us, where we were the favorites to win that game. 1-0 we lost, and it was a proper Mourinho performance. He was the master of time wasting for me. He was the master of it. And to be honest, Nick Pope is no different. Nick Pope is sorry some no, sorry Nick, the keeper always is in the control of the game, or however he starts, however he pushes. But according to what I'm seeing at the predicted lineup that I was looking at in the Forza app also, I'm seeing a lot of midfielders that are capable of that also. Like they are expecting Jolinton and Longstaff to start in midfield. So I agree that the keeper is the head of the how the team plays, or how the team pushes forward or controls the game or wastes the time. But if the midfielders are like this, and if the defenders are like this, that they're capable of controlling the tempo of the game, then this art is something which will be not difficult, irrespective of who keeps. Because if Karius comes in, he will be given the instructions from the manager only, that how you have to do or what you have to play in a way that the time is just taken away from Manchester United. Because truth be told, in the league, what has happened is, if Manchester United have had too much of time, they have most probably won the game. So yes, it can be a very good tactic, but I'm still not thinking that anything will change. Time wasting is an art being followed for many years in English football or football around the world. It is going to be same today. Newcastle will play like that. Only thing that the Carriers cannot bring as a keeper is the quality of goalkeeping. That, of course, for obvious reasons, the quality of the goalkeeping falls. So when the quality of goalkeeping falls, suppose I'm a Rashford or I'm an Anthony or I'm a Garnacho or I'm a Weghorst or Bruno, my confidence rises somehow. Because when I know a top goalkeeper is not playing on in the opposition, there's a sense of confidence in the team. I respect all the other 10 players on the team, but if I know a person who is capable of winning the Newcastle single-handedly, even in penalties, by saving a penalty or by having good saves, he's not there, I will have a slightly higher confidence that the one of the best keepers is not playing. I think it is a very good chance that we can pressurize the keeper who has not played the whole season, and we can be just ready to attack him on every opportunity that we get, which will be very less, because I know how Newcastle will set up. They will be very compact, and they just won't let our attackers to do their way in the game. I think so. Today will be the day where Casemiro and Fred, if they play together, we will be looking at them as proper CM, not CDMs.
Yeah, and it is interesting that you mentioned the drop off in goalkeeping quality. What is also worth noting is that Karius has not played a game for the last 2 years. So he's woefully out of match fitness. So it remains to be seen how he handles the pressure and how he is able to cope up to the rigors of the final or anything like that. Because he's not even played any cup games for Newcastle as far as I know. So yeah, it is going to be a big ask for him.
Who
And
is the second keeper of Newcastle?
it
He
was
has,
Dubravka.
yeah, he played for us, na? That is
Yeah,
why he cannot
that is
play.
why he also cannot play. Yeah.
Dubravka
So
would have been a win. He would
im-
have been a problem. He would have been a problem.
imagine this: if Newcastle win the Carabao Cup, Dubravka does not get a medal. If
Yes,
United win the
yes,
Carabao Cup, Dubravka gets a medal. Imagine how awkward that's going to be in that club. Either
see,
ways,
Nick Pope is injured, and Dubravka
suspended,
cannot.
suspended,
Suspended.
yes.
Dubravka cannot play. So I think, God forbid, if anything happens to Carriers or something,
They have
then
Mark Gillespie. They have Mark
okay,
Gillespie. They
okay,
have
because
a keeper, yeah. But
yeah,
the only thing is, it's not sure whether he's actually fit enough to play this game or no. He has an injury issue which is not yet fully resolved or something like that. They've kept his availability under wraps. So as of now, the Carriers looks like the slight favorite to start, but we do not know that whether he will actually end up starting the game or
I,
not
I
because
just don't, I don't want him to be that redemption Neuer. You know what?
oh my god, that's the last thing. Just like Kushagra said just now,
Yes.
the Carriers masterclass in please no Kushagra, not against us
Yeah.
at least.
The masterclass against Madrid can be. We can accept that.
Yeah, you say all you want, but just let one goal go inside. That is fine for us. I don't mind if we win the if we
even
win the
even Delvin, just look at the backline also. Just look at this. They have created a tower of defense. They have created a
Dan
tower of
Burn,
defense.
Dan Burns, Sven Botman, Fabian Scher, Kieran Trippier. That is a
Like,
very formidable defense. Very formidable defense. Add to that
and
Joe Linton.
Longstaff and Jolinton also in the midfield. They
Yes.
just come back and dissolve themselves in the backline.
Then there is Guimaraes also who can more than happily do the dirty
Yes,
work.
yes,
Then there
yes,
is Almiron
yes,
who basically just keeps running. He's their Sabitzer.
yes,
He just doesn't stop running. Basically, everyone in that Newcastle side is more than capable of doing the dirty work. They have
yes.
enough players who are ready to put a shift. Hi, Gregory. Welcome to the stream. Gregory, we are from India. Ojisbai is from Delhi, whereas myself, I'm from Mumbai. Hope hope you're doing well, and hope you're excited for the final, Gregory. And you Kushagra, you meant sarcastically or whatever. It doesn't matter. You're not supposed
May,
to put out these statements so in the
yes,
open.
Delvin, even Real Madrid drew the game last night against Atletico, and you know the type of football that they play. I think I'm not comparing both the teams, but I consider Newcastle to be an Atletico of Premier. I'm not comparing. I'm not at all saying that. Just the type of game that they sometimes play to slow
Yes,
the.
yes, definitely, absolutely. Because it works for them, and
Yes.
and, Jurgen Klopp, he keeps on crying, but still, Jurgen Klopp and even Mikel Arteta have gone on and spoken openly about the fact that Newcastle are more than happy to waste time, and they'll not stop it. If something is working for you, why stop it? Uh, yeah, exactly. So coming to our team, let's talk about our team a little. So talking to Sir Alex and learning about how to manage the club is not the only thing that Ten Hag got from him. What Ten Hag also seems to have found is how to get into the skin of Newcastle players, Newcastle as a side. So I remember the time when Sir Alex was United manager, and he always, whenever, especially at the time when Newcastle were under Kevin Keegan and they were leading the league, so Alex Ferguson came out with a press conference and just spoke about how Newcastle this, Newcastle that, and that somehow got into the minds of the Newcastle players. Now, fast forward around 27, 28 years, and we are here. Now, normally Eric Ten Hag is his own man. He doesn't, go to rile anyone. He just wants to do his job. But here, in a surprising change, he's gone out and said that Newcastle United are an annoying team to play against. Out of the blue, it's annoying. Like he's gone on and just dropped a bombshell. So obviously the annoying tag sticks, and it is definitely going to be a talking point for Newcastle because the media will definitely bring this out because it's Ten Hag who said it for the first time. He's not spoken about any team in such a way. He's not spoken about any team up until now, but on the eve of the final, he decides to pull out this trick out of the book. Is this something that he must have spoke with Sir Alex? What do you think about this, Rajasma? Because this is a very, very interesting
Yes.
mind game.
Nahin,
Very interesting mind game.
even I'm surprised of the vocabulary that he has used, but really I'm not sure in what way he meant that annoying team in a sense that it is very tough to score goals against because I think we drew against them the last time that we met. It was a draw, and so I think in a way he meant annoying in a way that they are not easy to get past. But was surely a very strange use of words, a vocabulary of stature of
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag.
So
He
this
norm-
is the. I'm sorry for cutting. This is the exact excerpt from the interview that has come out. It is a great. So he starts off very well. He gives them their flowers, puts their compliments. It is a great team, clear philosophy how they want to play the game. The key word is intensity. They are doing really well. Here's where things get interested. They are an annoying team to play against. Annoying. So the reporter asks, in what way? They try to annoy you, so we have to make sure we play our game. And then he further goes on to explain why he calls them annoying. So, for instance, if you see from the FA, the referees want to play effective time. He goes on to openly point this out and says Newcastle have the lowest in the league. They're quite successful with it. It is up to us that we get speed in the game, and then he drops the other bombshell. But we are then dependent on the refereeing as well. This is this is Eric Ten Hag at his uncontrollable best, and he's finally speaking out against referees also. So
Hi.
what do you make of this? This is just brilliant, This is just brilliant.
No, even if Delvin, suppose you manage a club someday and you see that a league is following a disappointing refereeing performance from match day one, someday manager will speak. Someday manager will talk about refereeing in a way that is not directly just accusing them, but it is a very smart use of words by Eric Ten Hag to really just put out in the focus that the refereeing has been below average in this season in both Europe and league. I have seen that. We all have seen that. Plus, the way annoying he meant was, I think the beautiful nature of Newcastle team is deserves these type of words, because they just don't like to play on the field. They like to play on the minds of the opposition. They just keep wasting time. The opposition gets frustrated. Suppose the team has a plan that this is the way that we are going to tackle Newcastle. It goes out of the box because Newcastle are so well at dominating or playing with the minds of the opposition. They just don't let them to have the ball. Don't give them the time to think of what they have to implement. So this is a very important match in a way that United has to be mature, because you have to understand we have kind of players that are mature, that have played in so many finals, and I think it is a right time. It is the right team uh, to face Newcastle, because we will be smart, we will be careful. And one of the players that I'm really happy that he is in the final and not banned is Casemiro, because he knows how to miss. He has faced Atletico 2 times in the final, I think so. I think it was one was Ramos header, and
Yes,
one
and
was
then the penalties, where they won on penalties. Yeah.
yes. So I think it Casemiro is the right kind of player that we have. We have Sabitzer. I don't know he will start or not, but this is the way how Newcastle plays. And if Eric Ten Hag describes them annoying, yes, they are annoying, but they are winning. They are having the results, and we have to just cope up with that.
Yeah, you spoke about. So let's take a look at some of the chats. William Droidge, welcome to the stream. I don't know how I pronounce. Yeah, it's Dragwich. Sorry, William Dragwich. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. We got to paint London red. Yes, that is the hope and that is the expectation that we finally do. And it's high time that Wembley is painted red. So we'd want that to happen as well. Ashish Dholakia, welcome to the stream. Any updates on Rashford? Unfortunately, Ten Hag has not given a very clear picture about what exactly is Rashford's situation. But from the sheer eye test that it feels like, I genuinely believe that if it is something which is more than just a knock, I don't think Ten Hag is going to risk Rashford. And he'll not start him if it
Yeah,
has the potential to
it,
get
it,
serious.
it is very I don't know, very, it is not sure, not at all sure
It's
whether
very
he's.
unpredictable. Very
Yeah,
unpredictable. We ourselves do not know. I'm just taking a random guess that if the knock has a potential to be serious, then Ten Hag might not start him. But he'll
yeah, but
definitely play a role in the final. He'll
yeah, but
definitely play in the
as
final.
as a team, we should not show the opposition that we will
Yes,
play less,
yes,
that
yes, exactly.
if
This
we
is a
don't have
classic.
a if
Yeah,
we
this is
don't
a
have
very
the
classically. Yeah, this is a very classic case of keeping one's cards close to his chest. Yeah, Ojus, you can continue what you were saying.
No, I was just saying that we should not let opposition think that we have bobbed down because we are missing an important player or he cannot play. You just have
Yeah,
to appear for the final, whether you're Garnacho, whether you are anyone, whether you are just a small 17-year-old kid like Mino. You just have to come for the final and play it like a final. It is okay. Sometimes injuries are not in control of
precisely.
the just anyone. So if Rashford is injured, and I hope so, he plays. But if he doesn't, but we should not never show it like that we are missing someone so big. We should just collectively perform so well that the missing part of an important player just we just take over the team, the opposition itself.
Correct. Let's talk a little bit about tactics, Ojus bhai. So now, by the looks of it, so like the predicted Newcastle 11 is doing the rounds. So based on this lineup, it is pretty evident that Newcastle will definitely sit back, absorb the pressure. They'll be more than happy to let us have the ball, and then they will hit on the counter. That is what their game is. By the looks of this lineup, they have San Maximan, and they have Trippier, and they have Almiron. So let's break down these battles. So obviously this comes down to Newcastle's midfield versus our midfield.
Delvin by
Now,
Isaac is injured or he doesn't play?
no, Isak is there. It's there. Isak is there. See, the last name is Isak.
Okay, so Callum Wilson, they are saying that he won't
Yeah, Callum
start.
Wilson could not. Yeah, Callum Wilson won't start.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So now let's break the game down into the battles that we could look at. One battle is definitely going to be Trippier versus Shaw on that right side and United's left side. The other battle is going to be Alan Saint Maximan versus whoever plays at our right back, that is Dalo, or whether it is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That is the second battle. The third battle will definitely be the battle of our midfield versus their midfield. Now our
Yes.
midfield could have any one of, it could either be a three, it could either be a two-man midfield. Whereas we know that Newcastle's midfield is definitely going to be the three with Longstaff on the base and Joe Linton and Guimaraes operating as those number eights who can more often than not start as sixes also. So let's break down these battles individually. Let's talk about Shaw versus Trippier.
Yeah.
England's,
Don't you think Almiron will also be like important for Luke Shaw there?
but then it depends on who plays on the left, Ojas Bhai. If we have someone like a Garnacho playing, then or a Rashford playing, I think Rashford has enough of his work rate to counter the Almiron threat.
No.
And with Rashford also playing, there is a small possibility that Trippier also gets occupied due to the sheer
Yes.
quality of the opposition.
Yes.
So the Almiron factor becomes a bit negatory considering that United have their best side on the left. So Almiron will also be considered with the defensive side for the majority of the game because Newcastle will definitely play on the moments. It's not going to be
Yeah.
sustained attack for 90 straight minutes. So
Yes.
that is why I am not ruling out the threat of Almiron entirely, but I've just put him on the back burner for a little while.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yeah, I think so. Anthony will also start because Aaron Wan-Bissaka or Dallo, whoever plays, will need help against Saint
San
Maximin.
Maximan. Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
and I
Yeah.
think Anthony will start. What I have seen of Anthony, he comes back. I respect Sancho, but
Yes,
he's
yes.
not the kind of player that will come and
Absolutely
crash.
correct. Absolutely correct. So,
I
and another very underrated battle. It could be Wout Weghorst versus that Newcastle backline. That is a very very underrated battle. So we come down to each and every one of this. So let's talk about the first one. It's Trippier versus Shaw. England's finest fullbacks, both have hit a purple patch, which have seen them, just raise to epic proportions. Both have bought in their A game this season. I mean, it was expected about Trippier. Trippier is a La Liga champion. He's won the title with Atletico. He's played a final also. I guess I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether he's played the UCL final, but yeah, he has experience of big games. He's played the biggest. He's played the Madrid derby. He's played versus Barca. So he has big game experience. And then there is Shaw also, who's finally beginning to justify the outlay and is finally began to show what type of a player he is when he's unleashed to his full potential. So, what do you make of this battle? Who comes out? Who comes out the winner in this battle?
So from the Tottenham days, I just have loved Trippier. I think he's an excellent right back for me. He's one of the best, and I was so surprised when he decided to move to Atletico. Although you have mentioned that he won the title there, but still it was a level down for a player like Trippier for me. I always expected him to play for the big teams, and Newcastle is going to be the big teams in this decade for me. But I hope you're getting the point when I say the big teams. He deserved to play uh, for the teams like that. And overall, considering that he has lost, or he was already not very fast, but with age catching up, I think he's 32. He's slightly slower now from whatever pace he had. So what he uses well is his mind and his legs. So this kind of situation creates a problem for both Shaw and Martinez. Now, how Martinez is very good, he knows the movement of the wingers and the fullbacks, and so he's able to counter that. But with Shaw is like a player who likes to go forward, and then just when he runs back to the defense, he runs back with the opposition defender or the winger. So in a way, Trippier is going to have a slightly edge over Shaw in a way that he has more quality on his feet, and he can be unpredictable whether he passes, whether he goes with the movement. He can be very unpredictable. So for me, Shaw versus Trippier, I would like to give a slight edge to Trippier, although I believe Shaw is more than capable of handling both Almiron and Trippier. But just for the share of quality that Trippier has, and with the company of Almiron, who will be running here and there and creating problems for United's backline, Trippier, I think so, has an advantage with Almiron, and that is why I believe the whoever plays on the left wing, like you have mentioned, whoever plays on the left wing also has a very important part today.
Precisely. Praveen bhai, welcome to the stream. Sorry to take your question a little late. Praveen bhai, I think Garnacho's use in this game will definitely be as a super sub. I don't see him start this game. Uh, there are a few section of United fans who believe that maybe Garnacho should be given a start, but I genuinely feel that the sheer amount of trickery, pace, and acceleration that he has, it can be best suited at a time when there are 20 minutes left, and those and that Newcastle defense, it's on his last legs,
Yes,
because with
yes,
Shar and Botman, both of them are big defenders, but they're not the fastest. And
yes,
like Ojis Bhai has rightly mentioned, with Trippier entering on the wrong side of 30, he's not that fast either. Although Trippier is very, very intelligent, don't get me wrong, but obviously you can intelligence can only
It-
take you so far when you're tackling raw pace. So there is up Trippier can stop him up to a
yes.
certain point, but then there will come a time where Garnacho will definitely get the better of Trippier one way or the other. So I personally believe that Garnacho
No,
should come off
Delvin
this
by
bench. Yeah, which is better.
yeah. Delvin, brother, if you remember the game against Aston Villa, where we lost, I guess, and
He
Matty
was
Cash was
starting.
very brilliant. Yes, Matty Cash was very brilliant in tackling Garnacho. So if you see right backs with higher IQs and decent pace that Matty Cash has, they are able to counter Garnacho really well. So I
I
think so
think
Garnacho will be dicey.
But the other issue you said that with right backs who have IQ and pace, I think Walker had both of them, but still Garnacho got the
Yes,
better of him after a
yes,
certain point in time.
yes,
So, so it's not like it's every right back can do that. It's just that after a certain, because then Garnacho did have a poor game against Aston Villa and he was rightly subbed off also. But then
yes,
uh, it comes up to that point where there is 20 minutes to go, and even if Garnacho would have been bought on that game at around the 70 or 71st minute, I don't think Cash would have been able to handle him so well.
yeah,
Because he would have been exhausted up until that time. It's just because Cash got a good feel of him right from the start, so he was able to get that time,
yes, yes.
to tackle him in a certain way. So I feel that Garnacho as a sub is the perfect outcome for me at this
Yeah,
point.
even against Trippier, Delvin bhai, we can start Sancho also with the the
Yes,
pace is not
yes,
that high.
yes.
Sancho can play there.
Sancho's dribbling is a massive, massive bonus and a massive advantage also for us. Let's
I
talk
think
about the let's talk about the battle on the other side. That is San Maximan versus either of whoever plays from Shaw and Dalot. Oh, sorry, Dalot and Van Bissaka. Uh,
we both know that Bisaka is starting against Saint Maximin. We both know that.
let's just preview this. Like I'm not talking about I'm not speaking this from my blind love for Van Bissaka,
Yeah, not favoritism,
but
not favoritism.
yes,
It's
no
just
favoritism, but
the quality of the Saint Maximin requires a very good defender on the right.
But imagine this battle. San Maximan, one of the most brilliant dribblers in the Premier League. That man is absolutely incredible when he has the ball on his feet. He is just too unpredictable. He is lethal. He has that turn of pace. You just don't know what he's going to do at that time. In front of him is Van Bissaka, who has hardly let any man get past him when it comes to a 1v1. He's kept Neymar and Mbappe in his pocket. Let's not
Yeah,
forget. This is when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. How excited are you for this battle? Remove the fandom aside, just from a neutral perspective, you are seeing one of the best attackers in the Premier League, arguably at one of the best defensive presences in England, perhaps, if
yes.
not the world. How excited are you for this battle?
Yeah, like I'm very excited for this. I totally expect Bisaka to start today, and I remember one of the good battles that when I have started to watch football, some of the games that I have watched, one was Tuanzabe versus Mbappe. Tuanzabe versus Mbappe, it was a very good battle. You mentioned Neymar and Mbappe against Bisaka also. That was also very good. One I remember when Sterling was at his peak. what I meant by a peak was performing really well, and Bissaka was just too good. Bissaka was just too good that day against City. So Bissaka has the capability to do wonders like this against good wingers, and I consider Saint Maximin to be a very good winger. Like you have mentioned, his dribbling abilities are out of the world. No, not at the highest level, but they are pretty good in the way of the league, how the league is set up. So it is going to be a very good competition, and it is going to be why it will be helpful for Bisaka is although I consider Dan Burn a very good left back, but I don't consider him to be too pacey. So he cannot be a problem for Bisaka, where there will be two kind of players with good pace that he has to deal with.
He
So
doesn't attack much anyways. He's not an
yeah,
attack first type of
yeah, so
fullback.
it helps. Now, what Bisaka will help is that Anthony can create a pressure from Maximum that I'm coming to chase you, and Saint Maximin will have to react fast. This will give Bisaka an added advantage. I hope he plays because he is the right medicine for a problem. I should say right, solution for the problem. I should say that is Saint Maximin.
Now let's talk about arguably the most key battle which could very well go on to define the winner of this game. And that is the battle of the midfield between Newcastle's midfield and with United's midfield. How important does Casemiro is definitely starting. How important is Casemiro and Fred slash Sabitzer's role in breaking down that Newcastle midfield, which is definitely going to be very compact? We all know Longstaff is going to sit back.
Yes.
Longstaff's job is definitely going to be that shield for that defense, and he could more or less go on and hop in as an auxiliary centre back as well, if and when the
Yes.
situation demands. So
He
that
does
is,
that. That is why Trippier can also move forward. He does that
yes,
sometimes.
he basically makes sure that they play a five at the back. His
Yes.
abilities more often than not ensure that Newcastle play a five. And then we have Guimaraes and Joe Linton, who are free number eights. They'll basically do whatever they wish, and both of them are more than happy to do the dirty work as well. So in essence, Newcastle have seven players who are more than happy to do the defensive work. Eight if you're counting Almiron.
Yes.
How important it is to win that midfield battle, because I genuinely believe whichever team wins that midfield battle wins the game. No two ways about it. Absolutely no two ways about it. How important is this midfield battle?
Yeah. Delvin, brother, the two very good defense meeting in the final, where final is a game that you play very carefully because one mistake can cost you a trophy. Definitely, all the battles comes into the midfield. When the two defenses are sorted out, you come into the midfield, and whoever wins the midfield wins the game. Like these usually. I'm very worried about Bruno, the Bruno of Newcastle. Why I'm worried about is when the other players are doing the dirty work, he has a knack of picking a pass. He has a knack of picking out players, the wingers, that can completely open up our defense. So I'm a little bit worried about Bruno of Newcastle. I want a player specifically marking him. Whatever dirty work he does, let him do it. That is his way of playing football, and we cannot control that. Let him do the dirty work. Let everyone do the dirty work. Just be ready of that one good pass that Bruno has the capability of making. He has, and if the Isaac is playing, he another a very good player who can just run anywhere he wants. So you really want a player on Bruno. For me, the preference would be Sabitzer. I know many people on the Twitter handles and whoever is watching this won't agree. They will want Fred to start with the second half performance that he has had against Barcelona. But sometimes you have to just think when you meet strength, you have to meet strength by strength. So when you have players like Longstaff and Jolinton, you need a figure of Casemiro and Sabitzer. I respect Fred; he has played wonderfully, but the presence of Sabitzer and Casemiro in midfield just allows Bruno to do both. The Bruno will then have the freedom to do the best thing that they can do, pick out the right ball to the right player, and the game can be decided by that. If Fred starts and he starts committing mistake, you really don't want to be in a position there.
Do you see either of a Fred or a Sabitzer doing a man marking job on Guimaraes? Do
They
you see
have
that
to.
happening?
They have to because see if it's very simple that if if you're so occupied in playing all the attack, because Newcastle is sitting back, and you are just focused on playing all attack, suddenly you realize that the what players are ahead. Saint Maximin, one of the fastest players in the league. Almiron, very good finisher from his left foot, very good finisher, and Isaac and Bruno. Suppose you are focused on attack, you don't have enough players to cover that. Bruno, of you know, single-handedly, with a single pass, I can write it on a sheet. With a single pass, he can completely open up our defense. And then God helps Manchester United if they concede first. God helps Manchester United if they concede first, because already the Newcastle side is so tough to break, and now you will be trailing against them. So I want a player specifically for Bruno. I know it is going to be what we can say, a Herrera Hazard moment. But if you have to win the final, you have to do the dirty work against the teams who like to do the dirty work.
If at all they do score first, they'll park the entire city of Newcastle in front of that goal and they'll defend with their absolute lives.
8 defenders. You will see 8 defenders.
I won't be surprised if I even see San Maximan defending after a certain point.
Why won't he? Why he's so quick, he's so strong. I remember him. He shoulder pushed Walker out of the play.
Yes.
Walker is the strongest right back that I've seen.
That was the day when San Maximan absolutely destroyed Walker. Not even had it was an even battle. It was an absolutely one-sided battle, and San Maximan had Walker on toast throughout the entire game that he played. My goodness. I'm surprised that Walker still managed to come back after that embarrassing devastation that San Maximan served him.
He has capability to do that. And if you see, Anthony is a player, like even ETH mentioned, they're not scared of anyone. Anthony is not scared of anyone. Garnacho, and so suppose Anthony and Maximin have a clash. This is also going to be very interesting.
Right versus left. Oh yes, correct. Yes, same side.
Yes.
Same side.
Yes. In that way, I am saying that suppose there is a stalemate of the game, a 70th minute, and there is a stalemate that is going on. You can see heat being developed between. There can be a moment where both of them lose their mind and they just start doing anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is. Once again, the final comes down to whichever player or whichever team holds their nerve better. And both
Bruno
of them
will win the game. Whether it's the Newcastle one or the United one, Bruno will win the game.
Okay, all right. This is a very nice segue going to predictions now. Since you've already set the ball rolling with the predictions with this, what do you think is going to be the final prediction of this game for you? Do you see this going to penalties? Realistically?
No. I don't think so. It will go to the penalties. Just tell me one thing, Delvin, brother. Where there is an extra time or not?
Yes, there is. This is the final. Has to be.
Okay. Still, I believe it is going to be completed in the 90th minute itself. I think United will win it 3-1 or 2-1 for me.
Wow, this very, very, very bold prediction against a rock solid defense. I like this. So I'm a little dodgy when it comes to it. I believe it's going to be a 1-goal victory. Whether it's going to be a 2-1, whether it's going to be a 1-0. There are certainly going to be goals there. I see
United will win it.
I think yes, United will win it. Man United will win it. Not you. So I think it's a Man United win. 1-0, 2-1 maximum. I don't see us scoring 3 against them. So I think it's going to be 2-1 for me.
It is going to be so funny if the score reads out like 4-3 or 3-2. I think it will.
Good Lord, I myself will be shocked. I'll genuinely be shocked.
It will be really funny for me because that will be just so ironic. So ironic this can be.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Ojus Bhai, thank you so much for joining the stream. it was a great time discussing all the possible outcomes, all the possible tactical battles, the prospective duels that could happen. Spoke a lot about the teams, the managers, and the surrounding and the events, or the events building up to the final. This finally feels like a Carabao Cup final and not just like something like a Mickey Mouse Cup or anything like that. Abhijit bhai, welcome to the stream. You are a little late. We are almost on the verge of wrapping it up, but you're just in time for predictions, Abhijit bhai. So if since you're here, we might as well have what are your predictions for this game?
I think United will win the match. That's not
Oh,
any doubt for me.
which United?
Just one.
Which
Yes, no,
United?
it's Manchester United.
Yes,
Wembley is red.
yes,
Wembley is
yes,
red.
yes.
And just one point I would just add that if we broke their defense and their game wasting tactics, then definitely the match is ours.
Do
Ten
you
Hag
see
knows
this?
it.
Do you see this game going to extra time, Abhijit bhai, or do you think the game will finish in 90 minutes itself?
It will finish in 90 minutes. We don't. Have you seen this? All the games that have gone on 90 minutes? No. We
No,
all have finished in 90 minutes.
it is a genuine question because there is no extra time in league matches, so that is why it is a final. So
No,
just
no,
in
No,
case-
no.
it can be a long night for Indian fans. It can be a long night. I'm not taking out, but I think so. I think so. The game of this proportion, the game of this quality. I just, if I am the either of the team, I would want it to complete it in the 90th minute.
Oh, just by it is long night because we are in the celebration now.
My
It's
God,
a celebration for
this
Indian.
wow. You've
Yeah,
said Abhijit bhai, you've said this live on stream. Let's hope for your sake in particular that we win this game, because the moment, if anything apart from that happens, you will be the first one who will catch all the bullets, not us.
Yes. No, no. It will win because in 2005 we already have won. In 2017 we won, and 2023 we are still again winning the game.
Hopefully,
We are winning the
hopefully,
game.
the hope is
yeah.
that we finally
I'm
end
just
that
I'm
trophy
just
draw.
happy that United is facing not happy exactly. I'm just happy for the game overall. That is overall the game that United have faced two good teams in the final. They have faced Southampton, which were very good that day, and they are going to face Newcastle, and I believe it will be a very good game. I will just enjoy the game a lot.
Exactly. So thank you to all of our viewers for joining this stream. Thank you so much for showing us the love. We want you to be a part of our journey. Please smash that like button. Please click on that subscribe button, and and also do click on the bell icon so that you're notified of every video that comes from us, so that you can join us on time. And we would love to have you on stream. Thank you so much for all those who are in the chat with their comments, their opinions, their 2 cents about the fact. Keep on, making the stream interactive. We love having you on our stream, and we would want you to join us on every stream possible. Do show us the love that you're keeping continuously showing us, and we are eternally grateful for that. Do also show us love on our Instagram and on our Twitter. We are perpetually active on there as well, so you can give us a follow there. And every day is match day on our WhatsApp group, especially today. The atmosphere in the WhatsApp group is going to be at an all-time high. It's going to be something that we have never witnessed before, and we would love and absolutely be elated for you to be a part of it. So do not waste your time, and please join us immediately. We would love to have you there, and we would love to know what you feel and what are your thoughts about the game. With that being said, this is Delvin along with Avijit Bhai and Ojis Bhai wishing you all a good night, a good evening, and hopefully a very, very good night when the game is over. We all hope that Wembley will turn red today. And till then, do take care of yourselves. Stay safe, healthy, and we will see you very soon with another episode of MESC Red Devils NCR. Till then, it's goodbye. Take care, and GG and you guys.
Uh,
Glory, glory, Manchester.